What's up, Cool Like That peeps? It is me, your Cool Like That agent in the house. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. You might hear a little echoing, and then here it's a little quiet, but there's not that much people here. We are at the Civil War Museum, the National Civil War Museum here in Harrisburg, and it's a powerful type of moving thing that's going on. As you guys all know, the Civil War was North against the South, fighting for slavery, right? So you get to see a lot of the history here. So if you kind of look, you get to see actual
uniforms of the soldiers, some of the equipment that they used.
Yep, and basically it's very moving stuff. If you come here to Pennsylvania, Harrisburg, you guys gotta check it out because you'll feel a lot of the emotions and everything that these people went through, especially the slavery that happened during that time. And look at the guns that they used. There's nothing like that here. Well, there is stuff like this, but this is old time stuff, you know? It's really interesting, especially this jacket. A lot of stuff. This is the stuff that they wore back then, you know? This is a battle flag here.
Dukes of Hazzards. What are you looking at? I'm sorry.
Look at this. It's got to be a serious video, and he had to make a joke out of it, but whatever.
That's okay, because when we were over there, leave it to a gay guy to come up with a fashion. Oh, look at the jacket up there on the wall. What was your idea to pick out the fashion?
I like that jacket right there. This is all stuff, and we still have a lot more to look at, but just wanted to show you kind of what was back then and how the military was back then, because nowadays the military is a great thing, and now we're at war at this point. This is what happened back then, what they fought for. Right now, I'm sorry, but I'm not exactly sure what we're fighting for at this point, so, but, you know, I guess freedom for another country, I guess, you know, and just defending our country. But other than that, we had a purpose back then of why we fought for what we believe in now. So it's a moving thing. What do you think, Mr. High Camera Guy?
I think it's very moving. It is very moving. It's touching. It's a very powerful museum.
Yeah. So hopefully nowadays
especially the part we just left.
Yeah, hopefully nowadays we find a reason why we're fighting, and I think we are fighting for freedom, but the thing is that, you know, I think we lost our way during that whole time for the last couple of years, you know, but I just hope I don't offend anybody out there, but, you know, this is what we fought for back then, so. Huh?
That's it. Keep walking.
But anyways, we're gonna go and check out the rest of the place. So we'll catch you guys all later. All right?
The Union Postal blockade became a slowly sliding noose around the Southern Confederacy. Before the end of 1861, Union ships were seizing small but important towns along the Carolina coast. The first major naval effort came in April 1862. the most outstanding naval officer of the Civil War, David G. Farragut, led a Union fleet from the Gulf of Mexico into the Mississippi River. Farragut was jovial in private, but stern in battle. Southern commanders had expected any Union naval effort on the Mississippi to come from the upper or northern stretch of the river, not from the Gulf of Mexico. Farragut massed the fleet at the mouth of the Mississippi. Then, in a blaze of cannon fire, his vessel steamed past 2 Confederate forts and 3 gunboats defending the lower river. On April 25th, Farragut demanded and received the surrender of the South's largest city and chief port, New Orleans. The loss of New Orleans and 80 miles of the lower Mississippi River, coming on the heels of Confederate defeats at Fort Henry, Fort Donelson, Pea Ridge, and Shiloh, was a severe, if not crippling, blow to Southern morale. The idea of quick victory in the Civil War disappeared. An orphan from the mountains of western Virginia, a military leader who fought for God with Old Testament fury. Such was Confederate General Thomas J. Stonewall Jackson. By 1863, the 39-year-old soldier was the most famous commander in the world. Much of that reputation came a year earlier in Virginia's Shenandoah Valley. The humorless and uncommunicated Jackson combined the elements of unpredictable plans, secrecy, speed of march, and devastating attacks on segments of the enemy army. In the spring of 1862, Jackson's so-called foot cavalry marched 676 miles in 48 days through the Shenandoah Valley. Jackson's 17,000 soldiers defeated 3 Union armies, totaling more than 64,000 men. Further, the Valley Campaign completely unhinged all Union strategy in Virginia that season. Jackson became the Confederate man of the hour, yet he would accept no credit for his achievements. As he told his wife in a short note, "God has been our shield, and to his name be all the glory." The flamboyant Union general who created the largest army the nation ever had was George B. McClellan, a brilliant organizer but a poor fighter. Using the U.S. Navy for transport and secrecy, McClellan in the spring of 1862 transferred his army to the Virginia Peninsula between the York and James rivers. He cautiously advanced to within 9 miles of his goal, the Confederate capital of Richmond. Then McClellan encountered General Robert E. Lee, a brilliant organizer and a superb fighter. Lee, who had just taken command of the Confederate Army, suddenly counterattacked. The 7 days campaign began June 26 at Mechanicsville. It extended through July 1 at Malvern Hill. Lee's men drove the Union Army to the banks of the James River.
Is that a video camera?